You save.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. We're back in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. If you're just getting with us, we were discussing a report from earlier in the day from Mike Florio of ProFootballTalk.com. And Florio says, and I'm paraphrasing here, that the NFL is contemplating the solution to the Damar Hamlin situation. And when I say the Damar Hamlin situation, I mean the Cincinnati Bengals Buffalo Bills game that was postponed. Looks like it could get canceled. They may never play it. Well, what are they going to do? Rather than play that game or use the week between the Super Bowl, between the championship weekend and the Super Bowl, what the league is contemplating, according to Florio, is that they would add an eighth team to both conferences as playoff teams and therefore take away the bye from, call it, Kansas City and Philadelphia, if that's the way it all plays out. So remove the bye and force the number one seed to play on wild card weekend rather than give the number one seed a bye. Alex, I'm paraphrasing. Would you say that that's the way Florio's reporting it?
I think so. It says let me just read it to you directly. How about that?
Yeah, do that.
Nothing's official yet. Here's what we currently know. Bills-Bengals most likely will not be played. The players don't want to do it, and there's no good way to fit into the schedule. The best bad solution in this regard would be to play the NFC wildcard round and Bills-Bengals next weekend. Remember, so push everything back a week, and then there's no Pro Bowl weekend. He says, but there is no appetite for that approach. The question then becomes seeding the AFC playoffs without Bills-Bengals. Winning percentage becomes the most obvious method, but there are concerns about equity, blah, 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 blah. One possibility is to add an eighth team to the playoff field in the AFC. This would be to eliminate the bye for the number one seed. To ensure competitive balance, there would have to be 8 teams in the AFC and the NFC as well. The NFL Players Association would have to agree to temporary expansion of the playoff field. And there's also discussions about the AFC Championship game being at a neutral site game. The problem is, if a team other than the Bills, Chiefs, or Bengals qualifies for that game, there's no need to use a neutral site.
Oh man. See, I think that kind of throws another whole monkey wrench into this thing. A neutral site. I mean, you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You're the number one seed based on where we are today. And you make it to the AFC Championship game. And the beauty of that is the Super Bowl. To get to the Super Bowl, it goes through Kansas City, or it goes through Buffalo, or it goes through Cincinnati. You're telling me that the league would say, no, we're going to move that game to Detroit. We're going to move that game to Dallas. I mean, what the hell, man?
LA.
I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all, because
doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, hey, Buffalo and Kansas City, you both made it. And Buffalo, you've got the right to be upset because you think you should have home field. And KC, you think you should have home field. So we're going to put you guys in Cleveland, where the weather is similar to what it would be in Buffalo or in Kansas City, since you guys both play in outdoor stadiums. I mean,
this just yells like, how do we get a game in Los Angeles?
Yep.
That's what it screams to me.
How do we get how do we get 2 Super Bowls?
How do we get a game in Los Angeles where we don't have to travel? Our whole staff's already in LA next to the stadium. Chargers ain't going to host a playoff game. The Rams aren't in it.
Whoa, slow down.
Do you guys think that if the Chiefs and the Bills played the AFC Championship game in SoFi Stadium, because that's the way the league decided to do it, do you think that's an automatic home run, massive sellout? Or do you think really, you think like the Kansas City fans
100%.
and the
Bills
fans, they come flying?
Find a way.
They come flying across
because of those two fan bases
specifically.
Those two fan bases specifically, you could put them on Mars and they find a way.
All right, let me ask you this. You ready? Cincinnati.
Broken tables on Mars.
Cincinnati is playing Jacksonville in a AFC Championship, and they've decided that it's a neutral site, which I know this is obviously just purely hypothetical. There's no chance, right? Nobody cares.
No.
And the reason I asked
why
that
would that
question,
be neutral?
But I also think that won't be
wouldn't
neutral because then
it's kind of
not
a stupid thing to think it would be neutral, because they've already said
that's
they wouldn't need it.
Literally, that's the only way that it is a neutral site game if it's Cincy, Buffalo, or Kansas City.
Yeah.
If they all played, if one of the two of those teams played each other.
Yeah. I only ask it because with the national championship game being played at SoFi this upcoming Monday, it seems like it's really not a ticket that is in great demand. Now, Georgia won the national championship a year ago. And TCU, I didn't realize what a small school TCU was. Their student body is like under 11,000. And I think if TCU is being kind of what I'll call a rich kid school, so kind of like an SMU, and and it is, I think, but they have a small student body. And so tickets, which were crazy expensive, I mean, like face value national championship tickets. I was talking to a buddy of mine yesterday. He's got 2 tickets, $2,500 a piece, $2,500 face value. And if you go onto these, third party websites, you can buy his tickets for, well, they're listed at 3,800. Nobody's buying them, $2,500 face value for a TCU Georgia national championship game. No chance.
Good luck. I think that
my team could be playing and I'm still not going to that.
I think that's the problem that you're going to run into, and everybody wants the underdog. They want the small guy in the championship. But this is what you're going to get. You're going to get TCU. You're going to get low attendance. You're probably going to get low ratings, and Georgia's probably going to destroy them.
God, I hope
and
you're
so
wrong.
then, oh no, Georgia's going to destroy them.
Why?
Destroy
I don't know why
them.
I don't know why we think that. I mean,
they can both score.
I mean, look, hold on 1 second. You got Michigan, who blasted Ohio State on Ohio State's home field. You had everybody telling us that Georgia was going to out-physical Ohio State the same way Michigan did. And Ohio State made the mistake of not trying to get 5 or 10 more yards to kick a game-winning field goal. They made it seem like a 51-yard field goal was automatic, and that's how Georgia won that game. So Georgia did not manhandle Ohio State in the slightest bit. So I don't – and the way TCU beat Michigan, I don't know why we shouldn't think that TCU could be in this game against Georgia. That's what I'm rooting for.
Again, Ohio State, completely different level of athletes. Georgia and Ohio State have an equal level of athletes. The athletes at TCU are not on the same level as the athletes at Georgia. You can tell me about the Michigan game. Statement. You can tell me all you want about the Michigan game. Michigan's been overrated, in my opinion, for a while.
I don't know how you can tell me that, though. I mean, listen, let me ask you a question. Do you think that the athletes on USC's football team are significantly greater than the athletes on the Tulane football team?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So do I. And who won the game?
Tulane did.
Okay, so what I'm getting at is, on paper, what you're saying may or may not be right. I mean, TCU got themselves in this position. They play in a Power 5 conference. So, are the athletes... What, dude? All I'm saying is...
What was the motivation for USC in that game?
No motivation.
What was the motivation?
No.
Zero.
No motivation. But they still were in control of the game, and their world-class athletes made huge mistakes, which got them into a losing situation. When you fumble a ball on a kickoff return at your 2-yard line, and then in the next play you give up a safety, and then your defense can't stop anybody, Tulane plays at a lower level of competition. Tulane plays the kind of competition that San Diego State plays. And they went out there and they beat USC. And we think TCU doesn't have the level of athlete, but TCU plays in a big-time conference. They play in a Power 5 conference that gets them into a national championship tournament, and they go out there and they shock the world and they pull the upset. You may be right, and I know everybody agrees with you. Georgia, SEC, defending national champions, TCU doesn't stand a chance. I saw TCU beat Michigan. I saw Ohio State nearly beat Georgia. I'm giving TCU a shot.
14-point. They were going to beat about 14 to 15 points. No chance.
That's what Vegas says. That's definitely what Vegas.
You guys watch this game. You guys are going to watch this game to watch the game, and I'm coming at it from a whole different approach. And I'm like, that could be us, San Diego State. Like that could be us if you bounce from the Mountain West like TCU did, and you join the Big 12 or the Pac-12. That could be you. There's no reason that it cannot be you.
Listen, if TCU can figure it out,
Utah was in the Mountain West,
right?
Yeah,
right.
Like and I'm telling you, when you leave this crap of a conference, you want to talk about athletes and the kind of athletes you get. When I watch those playoff games or the highlights of them, when I watch the highlights of those playoff games, it's a different game.
Yeah,
like they are playing a different game than what San Diego State is playing.
Yeah,
it's just just from a size, from a speed, you're just like, man, when you talk about the level of athlete that you get when you join, just by joining the Pac-12 or the Big 12, whatever they look like in 2 or 3 years, it makes a difference.
That's why I've been saying just get in one of them. Whatever concessions you have to give contractually for television rights, give them up. Just get in them.
Well,
Get
they're going
in
to.
them.
They're going to, and hopefully really soon. Hey, so listen, we are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. And I did want to get back. We started off talking about the report of what the NFL might do by adding an eighth team to the playoff mix and eliminating the wild card bye. And we said we wanted to kind of workshop what this might look like on the air. But before we get there, earlier today, there was a press conference that the University of Cincinnati Medical Center had, and they're telling us now that Damar Hamlin, the young kid, 24 years old, defensive back from the Bills, who was injured, I say injured, who collapsed, who had cardiac arrest on Monday night in the game, they're saying remarkable improvement. Not, hey, he's showing some improvement. They're saying remarkable improvement. And I know I told you guys the story a couple days ago where a friend of mine who had a contact inside the Bills said that what they're going to do is they're going to wake him up. They're going to pull him out of this coma, whatever that medically really means. Because they're worried about his brain. Obviously the reports have been that they're worried about his lungs, but in doing so, the doctors are now calling this remarkable improvement. You have more on this, Alex?
Yeah, so the update from the doctors at the medical center in Cincinnati said, quote, he has made substantial improvement. It appears his neurological condition and function is intact. We are very proud to report that. This marks a really good turning point in his ongoing care.
Wow. Wow, that's super exciting. I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm going to just say it anyway. You know what I really hope happens for this kid? I hope he comes out of this thing. I hope he's well neurologically, brain function, lungs. And then you talk about inspirational stories. You talked about that soccer player who a couple years ago had cardiac arrest on the field and played in a game as we were talking about this, I think on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. When I think about Tiger Woods and the car accident that he was in, and at the time, everybody's saying he'll never play golf again. And I was saying, I think he'll win a major. Like he's just wired that way to want to come back. I mean, right now, I know everybody's concerned. Hope this kid lives. Looks like that's going to be good. I hope this kid can live a good, healthy life. That looks like it's starting to trend in a positive direction. But man, could you imagine this guy coming back and playing football ever again? How exciting and how motivational, how inspirational would that be? You don't think so, huh, bro?
According to Doc,
no, I don't want that. I hope that he figures out what he wants to do in his life outside of football.
Well, he got like $6 million worth of like toy donations that he could.
I hope the NFL can help him usher in a different direction where he is involved in football, but in a way where this can never repeat itself. This is bad for everybody. And the next time people won't be as kind to him. This would be a "what are you doing" situation. Like Ryan Shazier wanted to play again, and everybody was like, no. Same thing for this guy. I know you want to play. I know you're young. I know you're full of energy, and you think you can do it. No, because the next time people are.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves. Way ahead.
The doctor said he continues to be, quote, critically ill. There's still significant progress to make, but Dr. Pritz says that the signs of improvement included Hamlin emerging from his sleep, following commands, and he even asked who won the game.
Oh, wow. Now that when you hear the phrase he's made remarkable progress, he's awake, he's alert, he's following commands, and my man asks who won the game
in writing because he still has a breathing tube in. So he's been able to write these things.
Wow. That is awesome, man. God, that makes me feel so good. It really does.
Because... Like to come out of that and still know that it happened to you in a game.
Yeah.
And you asked who won the game.
Right.
That's crazy.
I know, dude. That is crazy. That's crazy. That is such good news. That
it's
is
probably one of those moments where his family probably like starts crying.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you're almost like so thankful that he remembers there was a game.
Right. That his brain functions.
And he cares who won.
Yeah.
Not like why am there a breathing tube, but like I'm sure that happened, but that's incredible.
Yeah, wait till they show him the $6 million that's waiting for him in that toy drive.
Actually, as of this morning, it's more than that now. It's last I checked, it was 7, but let me check now. $7.2 million.
That's
wow. Great. That is truly, truly incredible. $7.2 million raised.
Million of them things.
Man, that's so cool.
The NFL
right.
should match
This is
it.
like, as honestly, this is, I mean, from where we were Monday night, Tuesday to now, Thursday, that's such an incredible. Obviously, still has a lot of progress to go to, but that's still so incredible.
Yeah, it really is. Hey, I mentioned that we wanted to kind of workshop on the air what is going to happen here should the NFL choose to go with an 8-team playoff. And I do believe that Chris Rose from the NFL Network is going to join us in a matter of moments. Is that right, Alex?
He might have to push. He's also watching the press conference.
Okay. All right. So but we do expect to talk to Chris Rose. We'll get to what this could mean to the playoffs if an 8th team is added in just 1 second. Before we do, I want to just mention to everybody that our man Grande here, I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to use the nickname Grande, Brown Man. I think pretty soon he's not going to be Grande Alejandro anymore. He's going to be like Pequeño Alejandro. Is that a good use of that word, Alex? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Like
Mediano.
Like little Alex. Little Alex.
How about mediano?
How about
medium?
What's skinny? What's skinny in Espanol?
Flaco.
Flaco. See,
No,
like
we're
Joe Flaco.
Long way away from that.
Flaco. No, he might go from Grande.
Browner's Flaco.
Yes. See. If you go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, and you click on the iThrive logo, you'll learn all about the iThrive Lean program. In fact, Dr. Maxey is going to stop a little bit later on. But the point is, Alex has lost nearly 30 pounds. Nearly 30 pounds so far on the iThrive Lean program. It's fully guaranteed you're going to lose weight. And it is fully FDA approved. And it has become like the hottest weight loss thing going. And if January, February, March, the first quarter of the year, if you're trying to reset your life, iThrive Lean. Go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com. Click on the iThrive logo. You'll learn all about it. And make sure you tell them that you're hearing about them here on Kaplan and Crew. All right, guys, let's go to what the AFC playoff picture looks like going into Week 18. Because if the report becomes true that the NFL would add an 8th team to both conferences so that the number 1 seeds don't have buys in the wild card weekend, everybody's impacted by this. In fact, New England goes into the week, a game against Buffalo in Buffalo as the number 7 seed, and they're 8-8. And you've got Miami, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. Tennessee's playing on Saturday against Jacksonville, and that is to win the division. Jacksonville's 8-8, Tennessee's 7-9. So
But if you open it up to 8 teams, does that now keep Jacksonville and Tennessee alive if they go 8-9? So now there's tiebreakers with the Patriots are 8-8, the Dolphins are 8-8, the Steelers are 8-8, the Jets are 7-9, the Browns are 7-9. Does that bring every 7-win team back into the fold if everyone finishes 8-9?
And if
I hope so.
Now,
hope so.
You know what we need to do though? We just put
Browns
up on
in there, man.
Right, we just put up on the screen. We just put up on the screen what the playoff picture looks like today with 1 through 7, with the next 3 teams in the hunt. You know what we really need to do? We got to look at the schedule this upcoming weekend. Alex is showing us playoff scenarios, but hold on, you can keep that on the screen. But like, for example, Pittsburgh this weekend, they are still battling, and they're playing against Cleveland. And if Cleveland were to win and an 8th team were to get in, and if I'm just making this all up here, but if Tennessee beat Jacksonville, if Buffalo beat New England, et cetera, I mean, this could just throw a monster wrench into, and this could be exciting.
And this is my whole point. And this is what Alex was saying. This is what better way to distract from that than to give 10 fan bases the opportunity to be in the playoffs. If you told me that at the end of all of this, Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns could make the playoffs, that would be the unintentional effect that the NFL did not calculate. Yeah. That would be just utterly beautiful.
Beautiful. That would have to be that's going to be like a 10-page report on playoff scenarios coming into the weekend.
Yeah,
do that.
I would love
it's
that.
It's like the Undertaker gif. All these teams just coming back. Like, let's go.
Right.
Yeah.
So Saturday, Kansas City plays against the Raiders. God.
Who has to lose for the Browns to get in? That's all I want now.
I know, right?
I just want the Browns in.
Right. Well, first of all, the Browns would have to beat the Steelers. That's number 1.
Okay.
Patriots. And again, workshopping all of this. Don't the Bills have to beat the Patriots?
To lose.
Why lose?
The Bills would have to. I mean, the Bills would have to beat the Patriots. Excuse me.
Right.
Doable. There's two doables.
The Jets would have to beat the Dolphins.
Possible.
That's doable.
But then the Browns and Jets would be 8 and 9. So I don't know who's got the tiebreaker there. I don't know.
But let's say Tennessee beats Jacksonville. This is also on Saturday,
right?
And let's say Jacksonville and Tennessee are 8 and 9. So here, let's just play
that's
this out.
4 teams that would be 8 and 9.
Right. Tennessee, Jacksonville, Cleveland.
I like this idea.
And the Jets and the Dolphins would all be 8 and 9. And the Patriots too would be 8 and 9. I mean, this is unofficial, top of my head. We're doing this on the air. That's at least 6 teams in the AFC that would be 8 and 9. And one of those teams, maybe 2 of those teams, might be able to sneak into the 7th and 8th spot. Because currently you've got New England, who has the 7th spot.
And the Browns have already beat the Steelers.
In Cleveland, though.
Let me see. I'm trying to see.
Because right now the Patriots are in.
All right, wait, hold on. We got to bring back. We got to come back because this is going to take some real thought, and we're going to have to really try and work this out. We're in the 7 Mile Casinos. What, say again?
Let's do math on air.
I know. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. More on this coming right back. This is Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Customer service is a priority for us. We are door and window dealers and specialists in a variety of different product lines. You're going to see 16,000 feet of the largest showroom in San Diego for doors and windows. We have a magnificent space here, much larger than any other dealer in the area, which makes it very comfortable for our customers to see and feel the windows in person. What you need to know about your project, we're going to ask questions about that. We're going to ask you about your lifestyle, perhaps whether you have children or pets, which direction the doors and windows are facing. Do you have a view? Is it about opening space? We want to ask these questions to best service you and provide an overall great experience. People find these things beneficial because we can address perhaps threshold conditions, screen conditions, wall depths, colors, anything else that's important to the project prior to ordering, ensuring, again, complete satisfaction in the long run.
Give us a call or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Priority Doors and Windows off Miramar Road is San Diego's largest door and window showroom open to the public. We specialize in quality, custom, and unique doors and windows for every style of home. Priority Doors and Windows offers excellent service and selection with windows by top manufacturers like Fleetwood, La Cantina, Milgard, and more. For the highest value at competitive prices, come visit our showroom off Miramar Road. Just look for San Diego's largest flag or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
People often ask, when should I call a lawyer after a car crash? If you're injured, then you should call 911 and seek medical attention right away. Then, assuming the crash wasn't your fault, you should call a lawyer as soon as it's safe to do so. There are several reasons why. First, it ensures that your legal rights are being protected while you focus on your health. Second, getting an investigation started immediately can be vitally important, since the physical evidence at the crash scene, surveillance video, or witnesses may not be around for long. Third, unfortunately, insurance companies may not have your best interests in mind and may try to take advantage of the situation knowing that you are not yet represented. They may try to take recorded statements or make lowball offers. Put it this way, calling a lawyer is free. The cost of not doing so could be quite expensive.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
Most people never expect to get into a crash or trip over a hazard and fall, and they certainly don't expect that it could lead to life-altering injuries. Most of us assume it's just an ache. It'll go away. I'll be fine. And luckily, usually they are right. But unfortunately, some injuries aren't obvious, and the adrenaline of the incident may mask the seriousness of your condition. Plus, when the injury is due to someone else's negligence, then you will have to prove that your injuries are from that incident and not something else. So not only is it important for your health to get checked out to rule out that anything is serious or even potentially life-threatening, it's also important to document your injuries as closely to the event as possible in a medical record. Otherwise, the insurance company will try to use that gap in treatment as proof that your injury is not related to the incident.
Customer service is a priority for us. We are door and window dealers and specialists in a variety of different product lines. You're going to see 16,000 feet of the largest showroom in San Diego for doors and windows. We have a magnificent space here, much larger than any other dealer in the area, which makes it very comfortable for our customers to see and feel the windows in person. What you need to know about your project, we're going to ask questions about that. We're going to ask about your lifestyle, perhaps whether you have children or pets, which direction the doors and windows are facing. Do you have a view? Is it about opening space? We want to ask these questions to best service you and provide an overall great experience. People find these things beneficial because we can address perhaps threshold conditions, screen conditions, wall depths, colors, anything else that's important to the project prior to ordering, ensuring again complete satisfaction in the long run.
Give us a call or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
This is the #1 advice I give to my friends and family. Get the most uninsured motorist, UIM, underinsured motorist coverage that you can. Here's what happens all the time. After a car crash, you have a ton of medical bills, you're out of work, and don't know what the long-term effects of what your injuries will be. Then you find out that the driver who caused the car crash only has $15,000 in insurance. And you say, good thing I'm fully insured. You have good liability, collision, med pay, but only $15,000 in UIM. In that scenario, you and your family are not covered by your insurance at all, and you will be limited to only $15,000 in defendants available coverage. The premiums for and UIM are not expensive, so do yourself a favor, check what your UIM policy amounts are, and make sure at a minimum they're the same as your liability coverage.
Girl Scouts promise to make the world a better place.
I promise to help people in nursing homes by sending them nice pictures.
I promise to keep protecting dolphins and whales by doing beach cleanups.
I promise to continue inspiring my generation to take action. Thanks to my voter registration drive, more young people are ready to make their voices heard. Power her promise, power her future. Visit sdgirlscouts.org.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those with all types of lung disease and long COVID symptoms.
Customer service is a priority for us. We are door and window dealers and specialists in a variety of different product lines. You're going to see 16,000 feet of the largest showroom in San Diego for doors and windows. We have a magnificent space here, much larger than any other dealer in the area, which makes it very comfortable for our customers to see and feel the windows in person. What you need to know about your project, we're going to ask questions about that. We're going to ask you about your lifestyle, perhaps whether you have children or pets, which direction the doors and windows are facing. Do you have a view? Is it about opening space? We want to ask these questions to best service you and provide an overall great experience. People find these things beneficial because we can address perhaps threshold conditions, screen conditions, wall depths, colors, anything else that's important to the project prior to ordering, ensuring, again, complete satisfaction in the long run.
Give us a call or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. We welcome you back inside the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan and Crew. We got Grande and the Brown Man, or we're starting to call him Flacco. And the
Flacco.
Oh, Flacco. It's not Flacco. It's not Joe Flacco. It's Flacco.
What's the correct pronunciation of this?
Skinny in Spanish is what?
Flacco.
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 But also, if you say, like, if you speak with an accent, you probably say Joe Flacco. So it's not wrong.
Okay. Skinny over here. Look how skinny he is, down 30 pounds. All right, listen, if you're just getting with us, we were talking about this idea that has been reported by Mike Florio of ProFootballTalk.com that says the answer for not playing the Cincinnati Buffalo game, which, by the way, anybody who's just getting with us, all reports out of the University of Cincinnati Medical Center say that Damar Hamlin, yes, in critical condition, but showing substantial improvement. Significant overnight improvement to the point where he's grabbing a hold of like his family members' hands. Alex told us that the report is that he wrote down a question: who won the game? So brain function, which was a big concern, seems to be all signs are trending in a positive direction right now for the young man. So now the NFL has to try and figure out what are they going to do about the playoffs. Are they going to back everything up and use the week in between the championship games and the Super Bowl? According to Florio, there's not really a great appetite for that. So the NFL, again, according to the report, is thinking maybe we add an 8th team to the playoffs, eliminating the wild card bye for the number 1 seeds. And this way, that's how things get evened out. Not sure it's the perfect solution, but it definitely sounds like a very exciting solution. Because if you're just getting with us, we were trying to figure it out on the AFC side. Alex, if you put it up on the screen, walk us through what the playoff scenarios are, or at least who's in as of today, before Week 18 is played.
As of today, you have the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, the Jaguars. Those are the division leaders. The wild card is the Chargers, the Ravens, the Patriots.
Now the Chargers, Ravens are in. Patriots are 8-8. They're not in yet, but right now they're in.
Jaguars, as of today, the Jaguars are not in either, even though they're the 4 seed. If they lose on Saturday, they're out as of today. In the hunt, Miami, Pittsburgh, and Tennessee. And that's obviously Tennessee is only reliant on Jacksonville, while Miami and Pittsburgh are reliant on the Patriots losing, which is possible.
But
because they play the Bills.
But if you went back, because I know you pulled up the standings just a moment ago, even though you've got some of these teams that are 8-8 or 7-9 that are still theoretically in the hunt, there are other 7-9 teams that are playing. We could have like 6 or 7 teams in the AFC that all have the same record, and then it becomes really exciting how they try and figure this all out.
Yeah, I mean, because you could theoretically, because I think the only teams that play each other are, on the 8-win team, who plays each other?
On the 8 wins, Buffalo. Well, Pittsburgh plays Cleveland, right?
Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Miami is playing against the Jets.
So there you go.
So those two things will work itself out.
Unless the Jets win, then because I don't know who has tiebreakers. Is it just a head-to-head straight up? Honestly, dude, I get the weekly email about playoff scenarios, and they're so long anyways. This would just increase it just tenfold. So
it'd become a dictionary.
You would have the Browns. I just from process of elimination, I'm assuming you have the Browns, Titans, Jets, Steelers, Dolphins, Patriots, Jaguars, all still available if they go to 8 seeds.
So if Jacksonville, okay, I'm just going through this. If Jacksonville loses to Tennessee,
Tennessee's automatically in.
Right. This is the Saturday evening game, by the way. This is like the late game on Saturday. Tennessee against Jacksonville. If Tennessee beats Jacksonville, Tennessee's in. But if they expand to 8 teams, does that mean right now that Jacksonville's out? Because the Patriots play the Bills, and the Patriots are currently the 7. But if the Bills win, and let's presume they're going to, then the Patriots become 8-9, which is the same record as what the Jaguars would be. The Jets are 7-9. They play the Dolphins, who are 8-8. If the Jets win, they're 8-9. The Dolphins are 8-9. And the Browns, who are 7-9, play the Steelers, who are 8-8. And if the Browns win, they're 8-9, and the Steelers are 8-9. So this could be like total, utter AFC mayhem. And if I'm the NFL, I would do this in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
This would be so exciting.
If you could wake up tomorrow
and if you look
in one of those fan bases in those organizations, let's say you play for the Browns. Let's use the Browns as the best example. If you play for the Cleveland Browns and you wake up tomorrow with a chance to be in the playoffs, everything is different. Everything is different. It would.
But also, we're focusing on the AFC side, but it's the same thing happening on the NFC side. The same thing is happening because now you're putting in, and I'll pull it up here too. Because now you're bringing in the Saints. Side. Now you're bringing in the Commanders, the Packers, the Lions, and the Seahawks.
Okay, wait a second. Let me just, as you're doing that, let me do this. Okay, so the Lions are playing the Packers on Sunday night. Lions 8-8, Packers 8-8. So
whoever wins that game is in.
Okay, whoever wins that is in. The Commanders.
Seattle would have to beat the Rams.
Okay, so wait, just real quick. Seattle's 8-8. Rams are 5-11. Rams are a disaster, obviously, and the game is in Seattle. So presume that the Seahawks are going to win.
So they would be in.
Okay. The
And then you got
Commanders.
Detroit versus Green Bay.
Yeah,
the
which we
winner
got.
of that game would be in. So it would be
Okay.
a little less exciting if that happens, if Seattle wins. But if Seattle loses, then you can start talking about Commanders Saints.
Commanders play the Cowboys. Games in Washington. I am going to.
I believe they're starting a rookie quarterback, Howell or something like that.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys to win that game, no problem. But the Saints play the Panthers, and the Saints are 7-9, and the Panthers are 6-10, and the Panthers haven't really shown any quit. They've shown like they want to be game and they want to play. They had Tampa on the ropes last week. So I'm not going to just chalk that up as some automatic New Orleans win. But you're right. I mean, this could turn into, I'll tell you, here's an interesting game. The Vikings are playing the Bears, and the Bears have no chance of making the playoffs at 3-13.
Don't care, don't want to. And by the way, no Justin Fields. So the organization doesn't want to win.
Oh, by the way, I don't think any Viking starters either, because I think they're very comfortable taking on the New York Giants in the playoffs.
Oh, listen, the Bears are going to lose this game come hell or high water. So I don't know what they want that second pick. They don't care what happens. And two, if the Texans lose, the Bears will get the number 1 pick. So they might just forfeit. They might just send the kicker out there to play quarterback. They're gonna lose that game.
The Texans
From
are
all the
playing
Chicago
the Colts.
people.
Don't guarantee it.
You guys have been tanking hard.
Hard, bro. Hard. The coaching staff is tanking. Some of these play calls, you go, wait, what's happening? You go, oh yeah, we won 3 games. Like everybody is in on it. Everybody. The defense purposely doesn't stop anybody. The play calls are just terrible for that purpose and that purpose only. So it doesn't look like they're bad, but we're not winning. Trust me. I've watched every second, every snap. They're losing on purpose.
You're saying they could be 13-3 right now, but they're choosing to be 3-13?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Of course. Tell you what, this weekend now, just even with all the speculation, Saturday afternoon or midday, Chiefs Raiders. That's the early game. Then the afternoon game, Titans Jaguars. That is a game that probably most of us would not be like, oh, I got to watch that. But playoff implications, it really is. And then you just look around at the rest of this week. The Sunday games, Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Don't need much on that. By the way, Atlanta Falcons. Did you guys happen to see what they did on their social media team? They this was this past Sunday. They won a game on a last-second field goal, 21-yard field goal. They won, and they put out on their social media, "Hey Ohio State, this is how you win a game in our stadium." And they showed the Ohio State kicker, college kid, missing a 51-yard field goal, and then they showed their guy making a 21-yard field goal, and it's like, "Hey Falcons, really? I mean, really?" Guy,
come on.
College kid misses a 51-yarder versus a pro guy makes a 21-yarder, and you're going to make that comparison? Really?
No need to punch down, guys. Come on.
Seriously, that's exactly what that was doing.
Well, Ohio State might beat Atlanta, so I don't know if it's punching down. It's a joke.
It was good. It was a good joke. It was a good joke.
But I think every NFL team would beat Ohio State, I think.
I like C.J. Stroud, though.
I don't know. Texans and Colts.
I like
on
C.J.
Sunday.
Stroud at Ohio State.
Mhm.
I already don't like C.J. Stroud in the NFL. It'll be every other Ohio State quarterback. Yeah.
Whoa.
Just forgets how to throw a football once he gets the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Fields can still run it, though.
Yeah.
You can run it.
All right.
Pretty fast.
New England at Buffalo. Obviously, crazy game this weekend. Jets and Dolphins, not sure yet how that game could impact the playoff picture, but both teams are kind of right there.
Miami's
and the
still
Dolphins
in
are
it.
falling apart. Yeah.
Miami's in it. They're in the hunt.
Miami's in the hunt, and they don't know who they're starting at quarterback. They don't know if it's going to be Teddy.
It ain't
They don't know if
Tua.
it's gonna be. They don't know if it's going to be that dude Skylar Thompson. But you bring Tua up. Hey, if the Dolphins make the playoffs, that Tua conversation's back.
Dude, he can't. No, he's not. You can't play him again. You can't play him again this year, man.
Why not? Why
Third
not?
concussion. Third
He only has
concussion. He's
2
on his
on record.
Come on, man.
Man, you
Look,
gotta stop acting. You gotta stop acting like you're talking about Bible groups over here, man. We're talking about the NFL, Okay,
It's not his second on record. It's his third on record. Remember, he had the first one where his head hit the ground, bounced up. Then he had the second one when he did West Side, and then he had the last one this previous week when he came in on Monday and was like, "Hey, I have a headache. All right, let us test you. Concussion, bro. That's his third one. He's his third one, bro. He can't play.
He's only had diagnosed 2.
By the way, when you said the second one was when he did the West Side, and then you did those things with your fingers. Yeah, he was laying on the ground and his hands were like all locked up, and that's what you called it, the West Side? Really?
Yeah, doing West Side. He's on the ground throwing up the West Side, bro. Like you can't play no more football, fam. You out. You out. Okay. Shout out to Mac 10, Dub C, Ice Cube, West Side. You are out until next year.
Second confirmed concussion on Christmas.
All right, man. This guy's gonna have his brain gonna be oozing out of his ear. They're gonna be, oh, that's not it. Hey, that's not confirmed.
Lefty should have stopped playing when he collapsed in Miami, and they called it a back injury. Okay, but I'm just telling you, you keep acting this week like you're talking about some like holier than thou freaking programmer. We're talking about the NFL. Okay, we're talking about the NFL. If the Dolphins make the playoffs, you'll see come Monday. Is Tua going to start? That'll be the conversation.
It'd be funny how that back injury spread to your brain real fast.
I think, come on, but he's right.
He is.
I'm
not disagreeing with him. I'm not disagreeing. Okay. He's right. He's 100% correct. And Tua would want to play.
Oh,
this isn't a situation, right, where they're forcing him out there. He would be forcing himself out there. Mm-hmm. So I'm with him. I get it. But still, come on, man.
Can I say something? And this may not be a popular take. If Tua is cleared and Tua wants to play, they should let him play.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a grown-ass man.
I agree. It's your life.
Like, only Tua knows what it's like when he's at home, Like,
well,
I don't know what Tua's dealing with.
Right. Listen.
If he's like, hey, I'm playing, then all right, dude.
Well, I mean, what we would all say to him is, hey, you're 25 years old or whatever he is, and by the time you're 50, you're not going to know what planet you live on. And he would say, you don't know that. And
correct.
We would say, you're right. We don't. Because there are a lot of guys that suffered all these, these concussions and mini concussions and undiagnosed concussions and literally don't know where they are. And then there's plenty of guys that had the exact same number of hits and number of diagnosed concussions, et cetera, and they're living a healthy life.
Hey, man, listen, guys work in steel mills and coal mines for way less, man. If he want to get out there and risk his brain playing football, that's on him. People do far harder jobs for far more risk and for far less money. So go ahead, bro. If you want, go ahead, do your thing.
But you put that schedule back up on the screen, Alex, and for everybody that's watching on YouTube, for those of you that listen on radio, I always tell you guys you should come over to YouTube. But I mean, this schedule this weekend, while you have exciting matchups, Kansas City and the Raiders, Tennessee and Jacksonville, winner takes the playoff spot. Buffalo at home, emotional against division rival New England, who needs to win to get in. All of a sudden, could somebody sneak in because there's an 8th spot, granted between the Jets and the Dolphins? Same thing goes for the Browns and the Steelers. The Ravens, the Ravens were hoping that the Bengals were going to lose to the Bills last week so that they could come in and beat the Bengals and then they could win the division. So that's an exciting game.
Lamar might be out for the year. I don't know what's going on there.
Well, you know what's going on there.
They play it so close to the chest there. That's just a weird one.
You know what's going on there.
What's going on there, Browner?
You want to get paid. I wouldn't play either if I was him. I ain't playing. Pay me or I'm not playing again. That's it. I've shown y'all what I can do.
I think there's a divorce coming.
Yeah. Listen, man.
I said that to you guys. There's no way that the Ravens are going to give Lamar Jackson, this is a conversation from
guaranteed contract.
No way they're going to give him a guaranteed contract. Here's why. The league and the owners are pissed.
Sucks.
Well, because Deshaun Watson, how many games has he played in? 4-ish?
4.
Yeah.
Wait till you get in the playoffs. You'll see.
Or wait till next year. I mean, wait till Deshaun Watson goes back to being what he was on Houston.
And let me tell you something. Let me tell both of y'all something. Everybody listening to something. If Lamar Jackson hits the open market, someone will give him a guaranteed contract.
No, they won't.
Watch.
No, they will not. You watch.
Okay.
You watch. Here's why.
Because he has not been the same since his MVP year, dude. Like, he just hasn't. He's getting hurt all the time. His injury history, I'll be like.
Dude, well, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this question. Why would anybody give Lamar Jackson a guaranteed contract. When you look at a guy like Russell Wilson, and let's just say Russell Wilson's contract is $200 million, and let's say $150 million of it is guaranteed. And I'm not that far off. I'm not 100% on because I'm not looking it up. I'm just telling you, I'm not that far off. The Denver Broncos, they didn't fully guarantee $200 million, but they did guarantee $150 million, and they would love to have that back. And so what I'm saying is that most owners around the league resent what Cleveland's ownership did by giving this kid a fully guaranteed contract.
True.
And that's why nobody else is doing it. And I know everybody talks about Kirk Cousins, but it was different.
A lot less money.
Oh, that's my point. So look, can Lamar Jackson go out there and get a $250 million contract with $165 million guaranteed? Yeah, just the same way that Kyler Murray did. And it's turned out to be a bad decision in Arizona, a bad decision in Denver. And I just don't see any other team, given the way he plays and the injuries that he's sustained, in particular the last couple of years, no one is giving that guy a 100% fully guaranteed contract.
All I will say to you is neither of those two guys you mentioned have an MVP.
Okay.
I think he is younger than both those guys. I think he's younger
Probably
than
not by
Kyler Murray
much.
if they're not the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a better, not better than Russell Wilson, but he's got a better record than Kyler Murray.
Okay.
And he's a more dynamic player than both. At Russell Wilson's height, Lamar Jackson is a more dynamic football player than him. In addition to that, if you give Lamar Jackson an A1 wide receiver, he'll pass more. So I think that when you put him in the open market, every owner who said, no, don't do that, no, don't do that, no, don't do that. One, all you need is one.
Yep.
You don't need them all to it. You need one. And the Browns were the one for Deshaun Watson. And I tell you, the Colts will be the one for Lamar Jackson. Watch.
I don't agree.
No, they're going to get Derek Carr. I'll bet you money they'll get Derek Carr over Lamar Jackson.
Okay. I'm not saying that
Can
one way or the other.
Can we get to the next one? Because let's get to something people care about. Because I was trying to say this yesterday. And I feel like with the Chargers Broncos, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had a Chargery moment yet.
Don't do that. Don't come in.
Oh no, you're so right. Listen,
here's where I'm going with this.
Denver almost beat Kansas City last week.
Yeah, Denver's fighting. Russell Wilson finally has more passing touchdowns than bathrooms in his house. He's on the up and up. Okay. What I'm saying is right now, the Chargers, they're fighting for the 5 seed. They want to play the AFC South winner. They want to play the Titans. They want to play the Jaguars. We all know this. But wouldn't it be so Chargery that they lose to the Broncos, fall to the 6 seed, and then have to play in Cincinnati, in Buffalo, or in Kansas City?
God, that'd be great. That'd be so great. I'd love that. And
Look at
yes,
Browner's,
I'm waiting.
Browner's
I'm waiting.
quietness has already
waiting.
answered the real possibility of that happening.
I'm waiting for a Chargery thing to happen.
I'm telling y'all, they could beat anybody. They could beat anybody. So for me, it don't matter who they play. They in. And I like their chances against everybody. They played Kansas City great in Kansas City, and Herbold has played well against Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. So bring them on, whoever.
All right. Hey, let me have 1 minute here to just talk about our friends over at Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. That's their website. So with Penske San Diego, there are 12 dealerships, and I've got all the different brands right here in front of me. They've got Acura, Audi, BMW, Honda, Lexus, Mini, Mazda, Mercedes, and Toyota. So Alex bought a car from Acura of Escondido. I bought 3 from Mazda of Escondido. Browner and I have been to the Lexus San Diego store to hang out with the Padres, traveling museum, and a whole bunch of great friends that came by. And so we've been to a lot of the dealerships, and we've gotten to know a lot of the people from Penske. Here's what I can tell you. You got a trusted name brand in Penske. You've got all these manufacturers whose brands you know and you love. And then on top of it, if those 9 brands don't do it for you, if you go to the website, PenskeSanDiego.com, every make, every model, because they take in obviously 1 million used cars and they turn them into certified pre-owns, and you can get even better deals on those. So expedite the process when you're buying or leasing. Go to PenskeSanDiego.com. All right, guys. Chris Rose from the NFL Network may still make it. The press conference from earlier today at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center that I know Chris was watching for all of his NFL Network work, he was watching it intently. It's actually gone on quite a long time. I mean, much longer than I was expecting. I thought this was going to be like a 5-minute press conference. He's doing well. Let's move on. But, I mean, they're going into some real great detail. And this has been about 40 minutes so far of this press conference. When we come back, though, I want to move into some other things outside of NFL football that I know I'm interested in. Can someone please explain the drama with the U.S. men's national soccer team and what has happened since the World Cup. I need to know about this. So do you. Stick around. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Priority Doors and Windows off Miramar Road is San Diego's largest door and window showroom open to the public. We specialize in quality, custom, and unique doors and windows for every style of home. Priority Doors and Windows offers excellent service and selection with windows by top manufacturers like Fleetwood, La Cantina, Milgard, and more. For the highest value at competitive prices, come visit our showroom off Miramar Road. Just look for San Diego's largest flag or visit us online at PriorityDW.com.
Music helps connect everyone. This concert is an amazing opportunity. Mayor Bill Wells and Banding Together will be here, and it's a time for people to sit back, relax, dance, sing, and to have fun, and for all of us to get together. And it's going to be a great night.
When you're in pain, you need physical therapy that works, but you want to feel safe during these times. At La Mesa Rehab, your health is our business. We screen each patient, provide masks, and constantly sanitize our private individual treatment areas so you can focus on healing. The foundation of our physical therapy is education. Our therapists care and guide you through the healing process. Ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab.
The best care you can have at La Mesa Rehab.
When doors open for kids, they change lives. For over 75 years, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater San Diego has been opening its doors to provide a safe place for kids whenever they are out of school. A place with caring mentors and opportunities to focus on academic success, healthy lifestyles, and character building. At the club, we do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid that walks through our doors by inspiring, empowering, and changing lives.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
Many are adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to their homes. Our experience, plus our strong relationship with the city, makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
We listen to you first, then design and build. Visit MurrayLampert.com for your consultation.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
Hey, great friends, it's Scott Kaplan here, and I want you to come check out our new TV show. It's called Kaplan and Crew Tonight, every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock right here. Now, look, it's the best of the radio show from earlier that day on the mightier 1090, and we've been doing it for 20 years, so now we're expanding the way we talk about sports and the way we can be heard and viewed.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight. Be a part of the crew. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. on Your View.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.